Why, hello there YouTube, and welcome to a Who review. I am Davros and I'm a Whovian, and today I review Doctor Who, Rise of the Cybermen and the Age of Steel. So this is a two-part story from 2006 Series 2 of Doctor Who, where the Doctor, Rose and Micky are travelling through time and space till they drop out of the vortex and they crash into some parallel universe and the TARDIS is dead. Well, the Doctor thinks the TARDIS is dead till he finds a speck of light in it and realises the TARDIS isn't dead, it just needs to refuel. So the Doctor uses breath of his own, because it had to come from his universe, to recharge. And yeah, they just had to bide their time and just hang about in the parallel Earth. But the Doctor discovers that in the parallel London, he discovers that this parallel Earth, excuse the noise there, they discover that this parallel Earth has been doing research to upgrade humans, and basically is like Mondas, where they develop the cyber technology to create the Cybermen, who make a return after like 17 years since the Silver Nemesis, and return just in time for their 40th anniversary as well. So, and of course, the Cybermen are all led by this mad scientist named John Lumick, who becomes the cyber controller, and the Doctor then has to stop the Cybermen in parallel Earth, and discovers that there is a resistance out there called London's Most Wanted that want to stop the Cybers industries, because everyone is like hooked into these earpieces where they secretly are being controlled and are going to be upgraded to Cybermen. And along the way, Rose discovers that her father never died, discovers that the ideas he had for all his crazy inventions, well, crazy products, have become successful, and discover that she was never born, and, well, they did have a Rose, but it just wasn't a human, it was a little Yorkshire Terrier. And yeah, they also discover the Cybermen, and Micky meets his alternate self, Ricky, where he discovers his grandmother is still alive, and he's part of a group that are London's Most Wanted, and he has a team, and Jake, played by Andrew Hayden Smith, and another character, an old woman named Mrs. Moore. So yeah, the Doctor and Rose discover the Cybermen are making a comeback, so then he has to help them stop the cyber factory in London, and then after that, Micky, he discovers that after his alternate self dies, Ricky, he then says, they have to, he has to stay and fight, and because he doesn't have much to go back to in the real world, and him and Rose pretty much decide to part ways because, well, their relationship over time's just wore away. So let's get on to my likes and dislikes. I liked the Cybermen, how they made a return. For me, this was the first time I'd seen the Cybermen. I knew about the Cybermen in Doctor Who, and they even had a little Easter egg in the 2006 episode Dalek, where they had the head of an old Cyberman. And these Cybermen were from parallel Earth and were big, and they were tall, they were cold-hearted and menacing. And I liked that. I was impressed by the Cybermen. Some people say that they hated what they'd done with them because they hadn't got their guns, but I liked them. I was impressed by them. They did have a little laser gun at the side, but we didn't get that shown till the Series 2 finale, Army of Ghosts and Doomsday. Anyhow, yeah, this was, I thought, a great way to introduce the Cybermen to my generation. The first episode was called Rise of the Cybermen, so we knew that this is going to be about the Cybermen returning in Doctor Who. And of course, for Series 1, they thought, let's bring back the Daleks. Series 2, let's bring back the Cybermen. Series 3, bring back the Master. Series 4, bring back Davros. Yeah, but Series 2 for that, the big highlight was the Cybermen's returning. And I just thought the Cybermen looked cool. I even liked the Cyber Controller, John Lumick. He was played by Rodger Lioyd-Pack, as I know him from Trigger from Only Fools and Horses. He did a good job in this as the villain, showing no emotions and saying that it is the brain that makes us human. And then he eventually, gets his life support sabotaged by his assistant, who sees this is wrong. Humans should be humans, not Cybermen. So his assistant sabotages his life support, and then the Cybermen upgrade him to the Cyber Controller, who again looks cool. I mean, the only difference is his eyes are lit up, he has his brain showing, and he's hooked up to plugs. But eventually, after the Doctor, Micky, Jake and Rose and the whole gang sabotage his factory and destroy it, he goes chasing after them as they make their escape on a blimp. But they then stop. The Cyber Controller then plunges to his death as the fire burns, and he is destroyed. I also like David Tennant in this. As always, he is my favourite He was my favourite. Well, he still is one of my favourite Doctors. I like the Doctor in this. David Tennant. Rose was great in it too. Micky, we saw a massive transformation from him. He went from Micky the idiot to Micky the warrior. He went from oh god, scarier and scared. But at this point, he was tired of being like the tin dog, because that's what he felt like. The tin dog is like the man in the van, the technical support. Yeah, he wanted to be in on the action, and he finally got that. And he really changed drastically in this, and I like that character development in Micky. Noel Clarke did a great job playing him, and he also played Ricky in this, his alternate self. I love the comical banter they had in between and stuff. Ricky, but we're the exact same person. And then Ricky was killed by the Cybermen, but then he said to Jake that they can keep fighting in his name, and that's exactly what he does. So I like how Micky transforms from this in this serial, and of course in series 4 he made a comeback, and he stayed in this Earth with Martha and married her, and I hope we see them again one day. I really do, because Micky is a great character. He really grew on me as well, and really grew as he went on. He didn't get on with the 9th Doctor, but he got on great with the 10th Doctor. I also like the supports in this. Andrew Hayden Smith playing Jake and Mrs. Moore, and also Pete Tyler in this, who we'd not seen since Father's Day, because he was alive and didn't die. And for Rose, she was like, oh my god, my dad's alive, and she's trying to think, she can't believe her father is alive in this world, and that her mother as well doesn't even want kids or anything to do with them. She just meets a completely different side of her mother, because it's a parallel Earth. Everything's different. They don't even have a prime minister or a royal family. They have a president played by Don Warrington, who has played Rassilon in Audio Adventures. I just thought this was a great 2-part episode, and had good effects, and it was like the mid-series halfway point. In fact, that's what it were. I think that's what the 2-parters always do. Like the first 2-part stories, they always mark the halfway point for a series. Well, they did back then, because the series and that has changed a lot since then. Nicholas Briggs did a great voice of the Cybermen, because he's voiced the Daleks, the Cybermen and the Judoon, and still does to this day. What else? I just thought this was a great 2-part serial. My dislikes, however, are the lack of screen time we got from the Cyber Controller. We got to see him as John Lumick in a majority of this story, but it's like we saw the Cyber Controller in the final act, and we never got to see really much of him. We got to see him get out of his chair and walk around, and go after the Doctor and Rose and then fall to his death, but that's it. And we never had the Cyber Controller since, I don't think. Which I think is a bit of a shame, but yeah, you know, that's just, yeah. Okay, so for my final thoughts and ratings, Doctor Who Rise of the Cybermen and Age of Steel was a great two-parter, great way to get to the halfway point of the series in Series 2 back in 2006. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Doctor Who Rise of the Cybermen and Age of Steel, you know what, this for me gets a 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 again for, I'm giving a lot of my reviews 4 out of 5s lately, aren't I? So 4 out of 5 for Doctor Who Rise of the Cybermen and Age of Steel. So, have you seen this one? Let me know down in the comments below if you have. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to share with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell. I've been Davros, and I'm the Whovian, and until next time, run for your life. Of course, forgot.